guys, welcome to First Among Equals, and I am here with Ivan323. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
How are you?
Good.
Cheers.
Cheers.
First off, I wanted to introduce you because he's somebody that I saw on Instagram that I just really, I really love your posts. They make me hungry every day.
Thank you.
So that's kind of a thing. And I really liked the way that you're visually as an artist, because I consider that it's just such an art form, the way that you're laying out your food, and sort of the way that you're doing your posts. Like, you just seem like such a down-to-earth person. I just kind of wanted to bring you here and get to know you.
Thank you.
Considering that you have a huge following of people that really admire what you're doing. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, kind of where you're from and kind of how you got here?
I was born and raised East LA. I still live there. Like I said, I don't know.
Like, how did you come to this idea of posting food and doing what you're doing?
Man, I've always had a love for food, eating, being a fat ass. Just growing up, my grandpa and my uncles and my cousins were always the ones, at the parties, doing these huge, cooks for the whole family.
So it was like all the like the barbecues and
you had
a big
food,
family.
Food period.
All right. Okay.
And yeah, my dad's side of the family was huge, and everybody get together every Sunday, regardless of where they lived or what church they went to. It was like after church, everybody head to Grandpa's.
That's awesome.
Grandpa always had, a big old caso about the size of this table with carnitas, or he had a homemade brick oven,
That's
mud
beautiful.
and brick, and
Wow.
birria or whatever. And, I always loved that and adored that about my family, that we always got together over food. So that's kind of what got me to wanting to learn how to cook and cooking for my family.
So can you tell the people, if they haven't checked out your Ivan323 Instagram handle, what is it that you focus on mostly?
Basically,
because you're making all of it, right? It's
yeah,
all you.
everything I post is.
So you're
all
not,
my
sorry. So he's not a food blogger that's representing other places or other people. You're solely doing it on your own.
I'm solely doing my own cooks, and it's me learning and putting it out there. I usually do, if I'm doing like a recipe, I usually post the recipes or step by step on my story so people could, I guess, follow along with me. If they like what they see, they can also try it. But it's basically just me learning how to cook, learning new recipes, new dishes, and posting them. Sometimes I get my inspiration from Instagram, other people cooking, or YouTube, or just something I see and I want to try. So I'll, figure out how to make it myself. And sometimes I do my own twist on it and try to make it my own. So that's kind of what I do.
Is there a theme at all, or is it always just kind of random?
Everything's random, I would say. Some people love to stick to just one style of cooking, barbecue or, which I love barbecue. But I get kind of tired of it after a while.
Yeah.
So I like to switch it up. I do, a little bit of Mexican food, which obviously it's what I grew up with. And
So are you full Mexican?
yes.
Okay. Where's your family from?
My dad is from Jalisco, Tonaya, and my mom is from Jalisco, Guadalajara.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so
that's dope.
But I was born here.
You were born here?
I was born here, yeah.
Were you born, where were you born exactly?
I was born in Kaiser, in Hollywood.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but my parents lived in East LA, so.
Would you say that your grandfather was like your biggest influence in terms of like what you're doing now with this?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, it was just growing up and food brings people together.
Yeah.
To me, it's like what I love. Even now, to this day, when I do hang out with family, it's always, what are we going to eat? Who's cooking? Who's going to bring this? Who's going to bring that?
Yeah.
And to me, food brings everybody together.
Aww.
So kind of like the holidays, when you have Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner.
Yeah.
But we kind of do that more than just the holidays.
That's dope. Did you think that, how did you decide on this? I mean, for people who are looking to doing something like this, like.
I mean, I've always had a love for food.
But like, okay, so you had an Instagram page and then you were like, this is what I want to do, or it's just like organically happened through like you just having a page, or
I kind of just started following other, because at first I had a music page where I used to just post music.
like music you loved.
Yeah, well, or like oldies, because I love oldies. So,
Okay.
I used to have a page where I just
Share?
share, like oldie music. And then I used to follow foodies.
Yeah.
And there was other people that used to cook, and I used to ask them questions. I used to see like, smoked lengua or something. I was like, hey, what's the temperature on that? How long do you smoke it for?
Yeah.
And ask questions. And eventually, it was just like, man, I want to post my own food, like what I cook and my creations. So little by little, I started just, I started my Ivan 323 page, and I would post, and all of a sudden, people were like, hey, man, that's, and I have a lot of questions, get a lot of questions. Hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? I'm like, whoa, people are looking up to me for the food that I cook. And it was an awesome thing. So then it just got to me trying to be a little more creative and trying to put more stuff out there. So
that's awesome.
That's kind of how I got here.
Yeah. Do you, because you were saying before we even started, is that now you've kind of gotten into this like whole group of foodie people that is kind of supporting, or there's like a whole like thing.
So social media is awesome.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
I love it. I love
agree.
social media. You always hear, oh, social media ain't this, that's not my real life. Well, social media is my real life. For one,
wait, what do you? What?
No, because
dope.
I mean, you always
You're right.
You always hear people like, oh, yeah, no, social media, that's not the real
it's like
me.
bullshit
That's,
or whatever.
I don't put myself out.
Yeah.
I don't really know, I don't really have like, how do I say, well, put it this way. Everybody I hang out with, like a lot of the family and friends that not family, but friends that I have that I consider family, is all people that I met on Instagram. Everybody I hang out with
Interesting.
now. Yeah.
When did that change? How long have you, sorry, I have like a million questions. How long have you had this page for?
I've had it for about 3.5 years.
Dope. Okay. So it really is work.
And the thing is that, like I said, food brings people together.
Yeah.
So you just start meeting people and asking questions. People ask you questions. The next, hey, where do you live? Oh, I live right here. Hey, let's get together. Let's barbecue.
That's dope.
So you get together, you barbecue, you cook, and you meet people.
Damn, that's so sick.
And it's like, oh yeah, bring your wife. My wife and her. They get along. The next, we're all drinking a few beers, barbecuing, and trying to create something. And we just end up, being close. And so almost everybody that I hang out with now is people that I met on Instagram.
That's surreal.
Yeah. So to me, I mean, I love social media.
So, well, and the thing is, and they weren't here when I was telling you this, but I get such an earthy vibe from you. Like, I don't get this, like, I'll meet people and they just have like a very, I don't know, like higher level perspective of what they sort of entitlement of like what they're owed because they've been doing this and whatever.
Yeah.
And I just think like you're super chill, like you're just from the hood. Like I love it.
Yeah. I like, I do this for fun. I do on occasion cater. I do pop-ups where I'll sell my food.
That's dope. So check this. I went on and I saw that you have a link for like seasoning.
Yeah, I have.
So what's that?
So
is that yours?
I have companies that have reached out to me and, hey, we want to come up with the seasoning, come up with some flavors, and
that's so cool.
We'll market it as
your
own.
So what are some of the? I need to do a taste test next time. I should have asked for that.
Yeah,
so,
I have 2 rubs out right now with the company called Gustas Vitae. Awesome company.
It's a dry rub, right?
Yeah, they do all dry rubs.
Do you only do dry rubs?
Yeah, right now, yeah.
I love dry rubs. I actually prefer dry rubbing more.
Yeah, I love.
She said, sorry, I just couldn't.
I'm not into like marinating food or anything. I love
something
just
about
seasoning,
it's like a grittier grit, and then you can use that in different applications. I feel like sometimes with the liquid could kind of take over something.
Yeah,
or
and you're not
away.
gonna get a good sear, which is where all the flavors at.
Yeah, oh my god, that sounds so good right now. I'm gonna eat so much after this, babe. So tell us about it. So what are the two rubs?
So I have 2 rubs. One is like it's called a Baja Prime cut, and it has more of the Mexican flavors.
So is it like a Cali Baja vibe?
Yeah, you know, get and you can put it on there anything, carne asada to steaks, you know, pork, chicken, all that. And the other one, it has more of a like a Asian Mexican fusion.
Okay.
So it has like a kind of like a kimchi flavor
Oh.
with you know.
So like a
steak.
Korean, like
Yeah.
Cape Town
Yeah,
vibe.
like if you were to go
Ooh.
eat Korean barbecue and you were to get like a little salt, it would be perfect to like dip
Dip?
it in. Yeah.
So when they
they're-
approached you, sorry, what's this company? Props
It's
to the
called
company.
Gusta's Vitae.
Gusta's Vitae.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, and they do like
Fancy.
all gourmet salt and you know probiotic this and
Okay.
they have like a huge line of like amazing salts and rubs, and they do a lot of the sugars also, you know, for baking and stuff like that. So they have a large selection of
That's so dope.
different rubs.
Did so when they approached you, did you actually have to go meet with them and then like try stuff out and then create like how did that work?
It was I was throwing them ideas and also rubs of theirs that I had tried, and I want it to taste like this with a little bit of this, and they're like, okay, so they would make it, send me different batches.
That's so dope.
And I would taste them or cook with them, and I was like,
fun.
I don't like this one, or I like this one, but I want more of this, or I want it to go more to this, you know, more herbs or more, you know, more
That's
saltier.
so neat.
And we kind of did a little
A
taste
mashup.
test. Yeah,
That's sick. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so now
when did that happen for you?
It's been within the past couple months. Yeah, it's been within the past couple months. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, that's a huge.
yeah.
I mean, did you even think ever that was going to be something that came from
never.
it?
No. To me, this is just like a bonus of running my page. You know, I never did it for money or you know to start a business or anything. It's just
Well, you have a beautiful page,
It's something
man.
I love to do. Thank you.
I
thank you.
really like. It's awesome. It motivates me to want to like do something. Like, I'm like, I have too much going on. I can't start a food page. Like,
Yeah, no, and it's awesome. Like I said, I meet people, I network with people, and I get people asking me questions all the time. How did you do this? How did you do that? You know, what do you recommend? So to me, it's awesome. I get to meet, you know, a lot of interesting people.
You know what I love about this? Sorry, I get excited. What I love about this podcast specifically is that you're so social media positive.
Like, yeah. I mean, why wouldn't you be? You know, it's out there. You get your information. Sometimes
Yeah.
good, sometimes bad. But I mean, to me, like you know, you're meeting people that are like-minded with the things that you do. You know, you follow pages of what you like to do. You know, for instance, if you like fishing, you follow a bunch of fishing pages. Next, you know, you're gonna find a couple of fishing buddies and you know meet up and go fishing. You know, or
Absolutely.
you learn different brands.
Yeah.
And different items of things that you love to do. So,
Yeah, I think that's why I love doing the podcasting with Brother here, because I feel like I don't have like per se a podcast clique of people, but I get to reach out to like people randoms, like people like you, people like all kinds of people to come, and so it's like I'm never in like one lane.
Yeah.
It's like I get to be like, this is a challenge for you. This is a challenge for me. Like, I've never met you. I don't know you. I've only seen you online. And I know, like, we're going to be cool after this.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And this is definitely something that bridges relationships. And I guess maybe in the last, like, few months, in our conversations organically with all the homies that have come through, it's like we've all sort of been a little, like, burned out from social media. And, like...
And it happens. It happens. You get all the political stuff and... You know, get a bunch of negative people, and I get a lot of negative people sometimes. You know, trashing what I do or whatever, and it's fine. You know.
How do you sort of deal with it?
Oh, I don't let it bother me at all. You know, like I said, this is not like my business where you're gonna make me lose any money or anything.
Yeah, or any sleep.
Yeah, so to me, I don't let the negative.
What is it that is usually the consistent focus on the negativity? Is it just like people judging certain things on like how you're cooking? Or?
Oh yeah, you get it, but no
Really?
matter what you do,
I always trip out on that people are so like
you know, and there's people
controlling.
that I believe do it just because they're in a bad place themselves.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So
They got a lot of time on their hands and they're just trying to like hurt other people.
yeah.
What about the pot? And I guess what I like is what you said about how this has like helped you form relationships with people that you never knew before.
No, yeah. Like I said, a lot of people I hang out with now, it's people that I've met through Instagram.
Yeah.
And it's just people that are
Like-minded.
and you know, they want to know how you did something and you want to know how they did something, and hey, we should get together and figure something out and cook something, you know, you want to
Yeah.
do something, so get together, drink a few beers and cook.
What kind of beers do you usually drink?
I don't know, I'm all over the place, but mainly all Mexican.
Okay,
So
cool.
I'll do like Corona, Modelo, Tecate, on occasion a King Cobra here and there.
Gotta take it back.
Yeah, you gotta keep it real. Yeah.
Yeah, you know it's funny. I've been wanting to go. It sounds so bad, but I've been wanting to go get a Mickey's,
Right?
just to like take it back, or like an MGD.
No, and I mean, it's been years since I had drank King Cobra, and when I turned 40, one of my friends says, "Here, a 40 for your birthday."
That's dope.
And it was what I always, used to drink, which was King Cobra. So for my 40th birthday, I drank a 40 of King Cobra.
When was that? Like, how long ago was that?
Well, I'm 41 now. I'll be
Okay.
42 in July. So,
Oh,
yeah,
dude, that's dope
yeah.
though. Yeah, sometimes you gotta take it back and
Oh yeah.
remember
yeah.
How did it taste? How did you feel?
Oh man, I loved it.
You love it so. I gotta go. Oh my god.
No, but just like I remember it, once it gets warm, that you gotta drink it fast. So.
That's what it was with the 40s. You had to like. I don't
yeah.
know how I used to do it, man.
Oh yeah, the
I was so
Mickeys,
tiny,
the Old
like-
English, King Cobras, all that. Yeah.
Bro, I don't even know. I used to have the 32s and the 40s, but it's just like.
Yeah. No, I mean I don't know. I love them every now and then. I have a friend that I forced him to drink one day, and he's on Insta. I met him through Instagram. Also.
Yeah.
And so now every time he comes to my house, we have to go get 40s, and it's like, come on,
that's
it's
cool.
tradition now.
Aw, that's dope.
So we drink our 40s of King Cobra.
Do you ever pair anything with your food? I don't
No,
think I
not
ever-
really.
no, right?
Yeah, I cook whatever I feel like cooking.
Yeah.
Or whatever idea I get. I just let me just try this.
Yeah. Have you ever? What's been something that you've always really struggled with the food? Is there something that you're kind of still trying to figure out? I'm curious now.
I like to cook outdoors.
Okay.
So trying to do a lot of like sauces and stuff like that, I'm really not good at. So because I like to do everything, most of my cooking outdoors, I'd like to get more into learning like different sauces, just to pair with, sides
Like
or food.
dipping sauces?
Yeah, or just sauces.
Or just sauce in general?
Yeah. Because I cook meat, vegetables, and different sides, and I kind of just
So
have
sort of
everything-
the additions that
yeah,
sort
so
of
that you bring
enhance the
everything
foods.
together. Yeah.
That's cool. That's true. That's its own thing, man.
Oh yeah.
That's
No,
its own
and
thing.
cooking is, I'm no chef. I'm not trained in any way. I'm
Yeah, you're completely raw, right?
on Instagram and
That's
YouTube
dope, dude.
trained. So to me, I'm learning. I'm a student of learning to cook.
Do you have? Sorry, you have a YouTube page as well?
No, I don't. It's everything I do is all on Instagram.
Okay, that's incredible.
And I it's time consuming.
Yeah.
Running social media is time.
It's a job.
Oh yeah.
It's its own
and everybody
job.
always asks, hey, why don't you do a YouTube video? I'm like, I could barely keep up with my Instagram. sometimes.
Yeah.
So I mean, everything I do is just Instagram.
What for 2020? Like, do you have any new goals in terms of what you're trying to focus on with your page, or is it just sort of like?
Man, I'm just having fun with it right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's brought you a seasoning thing. So you're talking about your catering. You do a little bit of catering. Gigs?
Yeah. I've done a few catering gigs here and there, a few pop-ups. Like I'll post up like at breweries or
dope.
Or I'll even do like underground backyard pop-ups. Couple of collabs with other people.
Sick.
But it's time consuming also.
Yeah.
Just because like lately I've been doing a lot of marisco pop-ups. And
I've seen your marisco stuff,
man,
dude.
too, yeah.
Oh my god, that one! I was like, the post was it like the tuna. Was it tuna? What was it? I think you did like
It's the salmon
the
recently.
salmon, man. Oh
yeah.
my gosh, you guys got to see this salmon photo. I was like, done.
Yeah, no, and it's time consuming, having a full-time job, and then, having to go to the market and find good prices on everything you do, because you don't want to lose out on any money. So you're trying to get the best quality food at the lowest price, and then, sometimes, be up till 3-4 in the morning peeling, deveining, 80 pounds of shrimp.
Dang, dude.
So it's very
So
time
is you and the
consuming.
wifey are doing it together?
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
she's
yeah.
hustling
Oh, and I
with
couldn't
you?
do it without her. Yeah, she
Props
helps me.
to the wifey.
Yeah, she helps
For
me.
reals.
She helps me in everything I do. She gets a little frustrated sometimes, but yeah, she helps me. I couldn't do it without her. So.
So, in terms of like, do people just reach out to you when they want to do these events and stuff? Like, how does that-
No. I kind of do everything on my own terms.
Okay.
Like I said, because
I liked it. That's what's so awesome about social media and like doing it on your own. Like, it's hard. Like, it's hard to say because I feel like we're moving into this direction of sort of like independent, individualized, creating your future and creating. Like, honestly, babe, like at some point you could take this and stop working your full-time job. We'll see if that's something that's like.
And I know a lot of people that have, they have like a passion for, smoking barbecue, and they'll do pop-ups on the weekends, and the next they quit their job and they open up a brick and mortar, and they're doing well out there.
The thing is, the brick and mortar though, that's the hardest part too, though, because it's like paying for that. If it's like maybe a food truck or maybe something a little bit more mobile, because I don't know. Sometimes I feel
it's difficult. It's something I wouldn't be able to do. Like I said, I do my pop-ups like, whenever I feel like, every month or every couple of months. And I don't know, some people do it every day, some people do it every weekend. I can't.
Well, yeah, you can't because you're doing your full time. But what I like about you though is that you have such an organic way of doing it. You're just like, well, it's just like whatever's coming is coming.
Yeah, everything's on, like I said, on my own terms, and this is a hobby for me. I don't need the extra cash, or I don't need the extra income. I have a great job.
Yeah.
Which I don't think I could ever give up, for
you
one.
Enjoy it?
Oh, I love my job. I've been there for 12 years and hopefully a few more years.
Yeah.
And I got the security of having all the medical, dental, vision,
everything. Yeah, that, right. The adulting, the grown-up stuff that you're gonna have to pay extra if you're like on your own.
Having a son, you kind of need all that.
How old is your son?
He just turned 15.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the beginning of January. So.
That's dope.
I got a 15-year-old.
Oh no. Uh-oh.
Yeah. So.
Does he help too, or is he just being his 15-year-old self?
Yeah, sometimes he's like, oh, do you need help? And yeah, he'll help me set up, and then after he'll just kind of disappear. So
Deuces.
it's like, yeah, which is fine. I don't want.
That's crazy though to have a dad who has an Instagram page. That's probably more. I mean, no offense to your son, but probably has more followers than his.
No.
Instagram page.
No, what happened is a while back. This is a while back. One of his friends found me on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
And I was actually doing like a live,
Video?
filming, cooking, and it ended up being where like everybody's like, hey, look, this Joe's,
Oh my gosh.
So everybody's like piled up watching me on Instagram live, and my son's like, hey, what's going on? They're like, your dad's on Instagram.
Oh my gosh.
Like, oh my God.
That's a crazy.
And he says, you know what, Dad, at first I was embarrassed. He goes, but then everybody started, giving me props, So it's funny because I'll go pick up my son from school, and he's like, hey, Gordon Ramsay, so they call me, they call me Chef Ramsay. Hey, Chef Ramsay. I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? So now everybody knows me as the guy that cooks on Instagram.
That's pretty
which
crazy.
Is cool,
That's super cool. So yeah, so those are that's a perk. That's pretty wild though.
Yeah, so my son likes it. He trips out on it sometimes. And sometimes I'll post him on there, and they'll go give him props for that. So,
that's so cool.
So that's cool. Yeah, as long as I don't embarrass him.
I know. God forbid you embarrass him.
Yeah. Everybody always says, You know, back then our parents used to embarrass us by rolling up to the school in a shitty car. You know,
Yeah.
Because now the way they embarrass you is by jumping on Facebook or something.
Oh my God. Well, that's what they say. They say that, Facebook is like so outdated now.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
it's just
yeah,
like the
yeah.
older people
Yeah,
on
you got all
Facebook.
the
That's
tias
why.
on there.
The tias, the moms, like all the soccer
I'm
moms.
glad my mom doesn't have Facebook. But yeah, like
It's an
all her
obsession.
friends and
Dude, they're
older
obsessed.
tias
That's
are
all
on
they
there. I'm
do
like,
now. It's a
oh.
thing.
Then they start forwarding you some dumb shit, and you're just like, okay.
You're like, okay, I know exactly. Start tagging you on some stuff.
Yeah,
I know. Or like those like positive memes or what. Anyways, yeah. Oh my gosh. Or now, because now they know Instagram Messenger. I mean, Facebook Messenger. Oh my God, dude, it's ridiculous.
All the chain.
Chain messages. Oh my God. See the highlights and the lowlights of the pages.
Yeah.
So with what you're working on now, like you said, because you're doing it sort of really organically, has the like seasoning stuff taken off? Like, are people at it yet? I mean, you said it's been pretty new though, right?
Yeah. It's pretty new. I love it. I get all the free product I get. I want, and I'm working with other seasoning companies also that
really?
not with my own personal name on the rub, but I get people sending me some really great seasonings out there, so I don't have to buy them. I use what they
use them,
send me.
and then do you just promote them on your page?
Yeah. I'll use them, and then if I'm happy with them, if I like what they send me, then I'll give them a little shout out here and there.
That's cool.
And so that works out for me.
Are there other, like, are you in connections with other like small businesses, like meat companies or any sort of distributors and things like that you work with as well?
Yeah, I've worked, and it's not like a continual thing, but I've worked with a few meat companies here and there that have given me trays of food and trays of meat to cook, and I'm very appreciative of all the stuff I get.
Totally.
It's like I said, it's just it's a plus, to have companies reach out to me and want to work with me, 'Cause like I said, I don't do this for income, or I don't do this to get paid, or
Why are you doing this?
I love doing it, and I'm feeding my family at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's doing something I like to do. Staying home, I'm not out there getting in trouble, and I'm feeding my family.
Would you say that when you were younger, you were kind of getting into shit just because you had?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
so you would say this is a positive focus, because
definitely.
if not, I mean, not that you'd be like all crazy right now.
No, yeah. Well, my son's what calmed me down. So it's been 15 years.
You're like, I'm calm for 15 years.
15 years.
And calmer, and even calmer the last 3 years.
Yeah. So I did all the messing around before I got married and all that, and before I met my wife, and I did all the
homies
kicking
it in the hood, and I think we all did though. I mean, not everyone, but I did it too. But I enjoyed it. It was a good time.
Oh, of course,
and
I enjoyed it too.
And we needed it. Like, you need to have like the family or whatever. Like, for me, it was family. It was like family I didn't have, and they were my family.
Yeah, and I did and some of them were my family, so it's like, my cousins were
crazy
in the neighborhood, and I was right behind them. And, so I kind of did that, and that's why everybody I hang out with now is new people that I met on Instagram. I was going to ask you that and I kind of
just backed away from it.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, shit, I'm already 41, can't be doing that no more. I got a good job. I got a amazing wife, amazing son. I can't be doing that. So.
Yeah, I think it's good because it gives you a new focus, and it kind of keeps you busy because you're like, our minds keep going. Like.
No, yeah, and everybody needs an outlet, no matter what it is. Whether it's good or bad. And cooking is my outlet. Smoking meat. Sometimes I'm up all night smoking meat,
So do you have, just like you were bringing up your grandfather, do you have like an outdoor brick mud thing or anything like that? Or is that a goal or anything for you? Or
I have a bunch of grills that I have at home, and
for different focuses,
for different focuses, yeah.
That's dope.
So I started off with the Weber, which is like To me,
Classic.
if anybody wants to learn how to barbecue and start
Yeah, yeah.
grilling and smoking,
Is
I
it
recommend.
the classic
the
Weber?
kettle,
The kettle Weber,
round.
just so people know what that looks like. And
Yeah,
that's the
so-
OG one from back in the day. It's just like the regular one you could
yes.
get anywhere
And
for like $40, $50 or
yeah,
whatever.
offer up sells them for real cheap.
Okay.
You know? Sometimes they're giving away for free, but they're the best.
Or Craigslist too. You can probably find it for free and stuff.
Anywhere, yeah.
So okay, so you started with that, and what were you first starting out with? Just if people are interested in understanding like the beginnings of that.
I started with the 22-inch Weber kettle,
Yeah.
and I just started smoking, ribs.
Yeah.
I started smoking, pork butts, beef ribs, stuff like that.
What do you find is the easiest to start off with?
The
any,
easiest, man,
That's going to be the most bomb. That's like not as much work.
The most forgiving
Okay.
thing to start smoking would be a pork butt,
Okay.
which is pork shoulder.
Okay.
And you cook it low and slow, about 250 degrees. You
This is with charcoal.
You do charcoal, but you add like wood chunks for
Oh,
flavor.
yeah, that sounds so
you
good.
whether you like some people put like apple wood or cherry wood
Yeah.
or peach wood or they
What's your favorite? See, peach I feel like pairs better with pork in my opinion.
yeah, because it's a little sweeter and you do taste the sweetness on it.
Absolutely.
I do a lot of beef, so I kind of stick with white oak.
Okay.
Which is kind of what's
Standard?
What's standard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what does the white oak do to the beef?
It just gives it a nice smoke flavor,
Okay.
and it's not too it's not too fruity.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I'm not in the fruit forward.
Yeah.
In anything in general, really. Like even with wine, like I can't go too fruity.
Too sweet.
Yeah, I can't do berry, strawberry, super sweet port wines.
Yeah.
And it's all in the same direction of what you're talking about. It's like with the meats too. If it's like if they over sweeten a meat, it's a little bit like
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I love salt on everything.
Me too.
So the oak is kind of like just a standard smoke. It doesn't have a harsh flavor like hickory or mesquite would.
Okay.
And Mexicans are used to cooking with mesquite.
Mesquite
and
is
lump
always
and
like
all
the
that.
bags that you find too of the charcoal.
And it's perfect for grilling. If you're gonna do open
like asada and stuff.
Yeah,
Okay, got it.
open fire grilling.
Okay.
But for smoking, it can be a little too harsh if you don't know how to use it too well.
So just to be clear, if you're just grilling and you're just doing an open flame, like asada or something like that,
Then I would
it's
use
fine. But the low and slow, if you're still using the Weber and you're slow cooking the meat,
Yeah,
does that
yeah.
mean that you have to wait until like, I don't know, the charcoal is,
No.
or how, you know what I mean?
Smoking is indirect heat.
Yeah.
Where grilling, you're putting the meat
Right
over
on
over the fire, open flame.
So you're using a smoker.
Yeah, I'm using a
Specifically, you're using one of the-
smoker. Yeah, I have an offset smoker, and it's
Okay.
the ones that look like a double barrel. It
Yeah,
has a
yeah,
large
the black
barrel and then a
ones, the big-
smaller barrel on
Got
the
it.
side.
Yeah.
So you put all your fire and your wood in the smaller one, and you put your food in the larger barrel.
Very cool.
And you're getting
The smoke
air
and the-
airflow is bringing the heat and the smoke into
Yeah.
the chamber where your food's at, and then it's releasing off of
Man, I
so
want to get that.
so you do that low and slow.
How low and slow do you go?
About 250 to 275 degrees.
For how long?
Is it depends what you're cooking.
long? Okay, yeah,
And
that's
yeah, you always cook to temperature, because different things are gonna change the outlook of your cook. For instance, I can tell you, cook this for 7 hours, but what temperature and how many pounds?
Yeah.
So you always got to cook to temperature just to make sure your food is
So
safe
making
to
sure
eat.
that you're reviewing the weight and the whatever.
Yeah,
The
so-
poundage.
So
That's
if
what she
you
said again.
don't know, if you don't know how many pounds it is, or if your temperature is out of whack, you always go for the internal temperature.
Okay.
So if you're doing like a pulled pork, like I said, which is one of the
Easiest.
the most forgiving.
Okay, the most
It-
forgiving.
it's
Like, so you
the
can't screw that up too hard.
It's hard to screw it up,
Yeah,
and if
yeah.
you do screw it up, you can fix it.
Oh.
So a pulled pork, and you could do like pulled pork sliders.
That's true. You can just throw some sauce on it.
Yeah, throw some sauce on it, throw some broth and foil and
Oh,
steam
wow.
it up, and,
Okay.
and it'll
rehydrate the meat.
rehydrate the heat, and that'll last you,
Yeah.
it'll make a lot of food for a lot of people.
That's true.
But it does take a while, you know.
Yeah.
It's a lot less forgiving than like ribs or brisket, stuff like that. You know, beef ribs.
What do you find is your like prime what you do
I
well?
love beef ribs, like them dinosaur.
Yeah, the big with the big
beef.
bone in it too.
Yeah, they just steak on a stick right there.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that sounds so good.
Yeah, I love doing beef ribs. That's one of my favorite cooks. Brisket, I love brisket, but
Brisket's amazing.
it just takes way too long.
Especially when it has a nice little
the crust,
seared crust on it.
Yeah.
It's just like,
oh yeah. No, and I love it, and it's time consuming. You know, 12 to 16-hour
damn,
cooks
dude.
right there.
Do you ever do inside? Like, do you ever use any sort of like a crock pot or any sort of, or is it always outside with that?
I like to focus on cooking outside. Yeah. I mean, there's times where, you know.
Well, like with the salmon and stuff like that. That's the inside kitchen
exactly.
Stuff,
you know, I'm in the kitchen and I'm doing this and that, or just, you know, some Mexican dishes, you know, just require do it on the stove. But I try to focus on being outside. You know, I love being outside. You know, drinking a few beers, barbecuing.
It is nice outside.
Oh, yeah. You know, wife will come out and have a few beers with me. You know, grilling or smoking.
You know what? You're right. I think that when you're outside and you're with people, it just feels like, even if it's not a party, if it's a Sunday afternoon and you're just like chilling with somebody else, it still feels like you're doing something.
Yeah.
It still feels like you're out in the world. You're not just like cooped up in a kitchen.
And it's an outlet, you know.
It is an outlet.
It's a way to just relax and you know.
And it's encouraging because, like, for example, if I'm in the neighborhood and someone starts their grill and I smell it and I'm not grilling, I get all offended. Like, I'm just like, why am I not at the grilling? Like, grilling and chilling. And it motivates you to want, especially in the summers, if you're like, that sounds dope.
And then, you know, you get to eat. You know, everybody has to eat. You might as well eat good.
And enjoy it. And then you have sick leftovers, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. So with the right now, in terms of, like, because of the weather and stuff like that, I mean, I guess it hasn't been that bad. It's California. It's not that crazy.
Yeah. Put a canopy.
Yeah. Do you
throw your smoker under the canopy and grill?
What do you find is the most challenging part of what you're doing right now in this? Like, is it other than like time? Right? Time must be one of the biggest.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because you're working 40-hour week.
Yes,
At least? Okay.
At least, yeah. And luckily, I start early. You know, I'll start like at 5. I'll get out at 1.
That is early.
Or I'll start at 6 and get out at 2. Head to the market, see what I'm gonna cook, go home, and you know, I have a couple hours to cook.
And then people are like blowing you up, right? Like, what's going on, or like, because you said, or they hit you up, like, what's good, or do you feel this pressure now?
No,
That's
not at all.
Good.
I don't feel pressure to go in one direction or anything. Like I said, I'm doing this for fun. I'm just learning. I'm learning.
That's awesome.
and I'm cooking and I'm trying to plate something. And like they say, we eat with our eyes first. So
Yep.
So to me, you got to learn how to plate it well.
Interesting. So tell me about that, like in terms of plating, because this is raw. Like this was just you.
Oh yeah.
This
And
whole
at first, when I first started, I really didn't care how my food looked. To me, I just wanted to cook it, and this is what I'm cooking. You know, if I was doing ribs, like these are the ribs I cooked. You know, if I was doing, you know, mariscos, if I'm doing aguachiles, it was like,
Here it is.
Look what I made. Yeah. So actually, about 3 years ago, and I'm talking about just a few months after I started my Instagram, I got Bell's palsy.
Oh wow!
And
really?
Yeah. So with the Bell's palsy, I lost my taste buds.
Oh my gosh, that's true. It's like. Did you get the like half face?
Yeah. My face got
Dude, I had a friend who had that. That's nuts, man.
Yeah. For I'm telling you, for like 6 months, I couldn't taste any food, but I still had to cook. You know, for my family, I still had to feed my family.
What a trip!
I'm still cooking now. I'm like more concerned of how my food looks rather than how it tastes.
At that time.
Yeah. So I put a lot of focus on my plating and
Did you like start looking at other? I mean, I'm sure you did. It's like research, and you start looking at other pages or how other people
Oh
are
yeah,
doing
yeah.
stuff.
I get inspired by everybody.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
there's a lot of people out there. Oh, I created this. No, I don't. I'm not the originator of nothing. I
No,
just,
nobody is. Everything is
Yeah,
recycled.
yeah. But you get a
I
lot of
never.
people that think they're the originators of everything, and
No,
it's like.
dude. We're all recycling
Yeah,
shit. Ain't nobody doing nothing
exactly.
new.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I mean, I get
We're just
inspired by
we're just
everybody.
uniquely creating our own thing, but when it really comes down to it, there's
Yeah.
been many podcasts.
Oh yeah.
There will be more podcasts.
Yeah.
So yeah, so tell me more. So when that happened to you, like, did it? That's nuts, man. So how does that? What did it trigger? Like, what was the whole thing about? Like, how did?
So I've done try to research what it was because I went to the doctor. I thought I had a stroke for
Yeah,
one
yeah.
because
A lot of people think that. Yeah, for sure.
And for people that don't know what Bell's palsy is you pretty much half of your face goes completely paralyzed. I couldn't blink my eye, so I would have to purposely
Bring it
down just to get it cheered. Actually, for a while, I had to put tape on my eye to keep it
Oh my
closed.
gosh, babe.
You're like teardrops, because your eyes wide open. My
Whoa.
face was half of my face was paralyzed. I couldn't chew on one side. I just, I had no movement on one side.
So
you got to chew on one side. I lost my
Gang
taste
of weight.
buds.
You must have lost gang of
No,
weight.
I didn't stop eating.
Even with no taste buds.
Even with no taste buds, I didn't stop eating.
All right.
But I completely lost all flavor. So no matter how much salt or hot sauce or anything I would put on my food, I couldn't taste it at all. So your mouth just goes numb. Your tongue goes numb. So yeah,
Your whole tongue went numb.
Yeah.
I'm all imagining like half your tongue went numb, but that's not
your-
true.
Yeah, your whole tongue just.
So then of course you freaked out.
Oh yeah.
And
So I
you're
was
like,
at,
am I gonna be like this forever? How did it?
Yeah, I was at work when it happened, and I'm
my
talking to one of my coworkers, and I started slurring, and then you get like the little drool coming out.
Yeah.
A little embarrassing, but I was like, oh man. So I was like, and he tells me, hey, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm not sure. He goes, hey man, you might be having a stroke. And I was, that's when the panic kind of set in.
Scary.
So I said, you know what? I'm gonna go to the emergency room. So I took off, went to the emergency room, and the doctor. They put me in to see the doctor within 5 minutes. Doctor, do this, do that. Does your arm? You checked all my vitals and everything.
Yeah.
He said, no, you're fine. He goes, you got Bell's palsy. He goes, nobody knows why it happens.
Yeah.
There's nothing saying this is why it happened.
Yeah.
He says, and there's nothing to cure it. He goes, we give you antibiotics, but it's not proven that it's going to do anything. So you just got to wait it out. Some people it goes away. Some people it doesn't. Some people get it, recurring. It happens over and over. So I was like shitting bricks,
Heck yeah.
Like, I don't want this to happen to me.
Of course.
And yeah, so it happened, and I lost my taste for about 6 months.
How did that feel? Did other senses heighten?
No.
Okay, because I was like,
Yeah.
I got all X-Men, like X-Men.
Yeah. No, because they say like
school of...
if you're blind, you could hear.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
well, I'm
I
sure...
know what you mean, but no. I hated it. I hated it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I'm not able to taste food, and I'm in love with food.
Yeah, you're in the middle of creating something.
Yeah.
Very specific.
Yeah. So that happened, but
What do you think you took from that?
I don't know. I'm not sure if I got anything out of it, or
Well, I mean,
other than an appreciation for food, and
that's
the
nuts.
appreciation just for life in general. A lot of
Absolutely.
people take everything for granted.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then, okay, so tell me the awesome part. When did it come back? How did that? Because that's pretty
So like I
nice.
said, it took about 6 months, and then just little by little, I was starting to taste my food. So I was like, oh shit, I could taste salt, or hot sauce, so because I could finally taste, but I was overdoing it. Sugar, stuff like that.
Well, yeah, because you want to have that.
Oh, yeah. And it's like
satiated-
I could taste, and it came back slowly. But yeah, it took about 6 months for me to get my full taste buds back.
And then your face just started going
And
along with it, right? Like just
yeah,
sort of
little by little. I mean, I still have, they call it partial facial paralysis,
Yeah.
which I still have, and it'll probably never go away.
It's not even noticeable though, man.
It's been what, like 3 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you feel like when you got back out of that, did you feel a change in your taste buds or in your face, or like was there any sort of
No, not really, not really. I mean, just kind of almost back to normal. Well, very appreciative of that. I do still get real bad cramps on my face sometimes.
really? Did you have to go to physical therapy and things like that?
No, no, they pretty much said you got to write it out. They did give me like a list of facial exercises and
Yeah,
stuff
they do
like
that
that.
usually
And
for everything.
yeah, but
stuff
not.
like that.
They didn't send me anywhere or anything. So
Well, and that's a crazy connection. So you said because of that, though, you did start focusing more on your plating.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, I was still cooking for my family, so I still try to, you know, get food out for them. And yeah, I kind of started focusing more on my plating and making it look good because I couldn't taste it, but I still wanted it to look good. Yeah, yeah. So I
So
mean,
that's kind of a weird connection with that. Not that was the reason, but sometimes it's like it enhances other skill sets that you needed to
yeah.
strengthen.
You gotta do what you have, I guess.
You got to do, yeah, you got to work with what you have. Exactly. That's crazy. So, in terms of like now with your plating, do you feel like a lot more comfortable? Are you doing like more, I don't know.
I mean, I'm learning, and I love getting inspiration from people, So,
Where do you usually find your inspiration, you think?
I guess just from other people that are doing the same thing that I'm doing, or people that have been doing it longer than me,
Yeah.
and I see what they're doing, and I love it, I love it, and I feed off of what everybody else does around me, whether it be Mexican food or mariscos or micheladas and all the fun stuff
Yeah,
that's
dude,
been
the
going on.
michelada, like what? That's always.
Yeah. I mean, I love micheladas, and now they do all the crazy stuff,
I love
with
it.
the seafood on top, or all the chips and everything. Pretty much a meal in itself.
Oh my gosh, it's so
Yeah,
good.
and that's what I love about living in LA is you find almost everything now, and right now food is just blowing up.
Yeah, it is.
Whether it be like I said, mariscos, or you got the TJ style of cooking, Jalisco style, all the different Oaxacan foods and
Oh my God, don't get me started on Oaxacan.
yeah, and then you got barbecue, and you got the Texas style barbecue coming up,
Tex-Mex
LA, and you got all these different food ventures that are starting to pop up where normally you wouldn't be able to try that. And I pretty much think it all has to do with social media. Social media hyping up different things. Like right now, just about everywhere you go, you have birria de res.
Yeah.
The TJ style birria de res, and that wasn't famous. I'd never even heard about birria de res up until like about a few months ago, and it's also social media.
Yeah, you know what? Let me ask you this then. So, what is like the new trending thing right now that you feel like, and what are you trying to hop on that's like the new shit, or at least just be interested?
Right now, like I said, the beef birria is trending. That's like everywhere now. You get your little consomme, you get your red tacos, also the TJ style tacos with big old glop of guacamole on your tacos. That's kind of trending with the handmade tortillas and all that. So.
The handmade tortillas, I feel like have been
the
thing, but I didn't even know like the birria was like going that hardcore.
Yeah. And now they're everywhere. Because I drive Whittier Boulevard all the time, so it's like.
Do you?
You get all the different trucks or just stands out in Whittier Boulevard.
Are you intentionally going out to Whittier Boulevard and all these places to kind of see what's the temperature and what's going on?
No, not really. Just sometimes, when you're running around, and I don't have time to cook, so it's like, let's go try out one of these spots, But other than that, I really don't go out to eat much. I try not to. And I get a lot of people always hitting me up. Hey, I'm gonna be in LA. What do you recommend? I'm like, I don't know.
That's funny.
You know,
Well, and that's true because like when I was following you, my assumption for a lot of stuff you're posting was you were somewhere. Like if you're not reading it and you're just looking, I would just assume because a lot of the food bloggers are just going somewhere, eating and recommending, which is a lot easier than what you're doing. And that's why it's so cool that I have you here because it's like you're actually putting in the work.
Yeah,
That's a lot of work.
I'm cooking my own food, and shout out to the food bloggers because they're out there doing their thing. And,
they're doing it,
and they're opening eyes for everybody of what food places are good, what food places are going to be the next hit.
Yeah, for sure.
And like I said, anybody that's starting like a little brick and mortar or even a pop up, you get the influencers out there and they help them out. They've been doing good for small businesses.
Yeah. When you first started though, I guess what would you tell new people that are trying to do like food blog, maybe something similar to you? Like what would you tell them would be like the best first steps to get started?
Well, definitely you have to have a passion for it. You can't just try to get into something that you're not really going to be involved in, or you really don't care about, something you're not going to research. You have to have the passion for it, and then just do it. See what other people are doing, see what other people are making that works for them. Ask a lot of questions. I ask tons of questions.
Yeah. Well, because you seem super introverted too. Like it's funny because like your social media is like boom boom, like look at this, look at that. But then talking to you, I feel like you're very kind and quiet and more introverted in who you are as a person.
No, yeah, and I have a lot of people always asking me questions, and I love it. So to me, it's like they're interacting with me, and that's a cool thing. I know there was a lot of times where I would ask a lot of questions, and that's the thing about like the barbecue community or the food community is people are willing to talk to you.
Yeah.
People are willing to show you how they do things. A lot of people are secretive also.
Yeah, I was gonna say that must be another thing you must. I don't know. People don't want to share sometimes. Like
yeah. No, but a lot of times you find some cool people out there, and they're out there doing what you're doing. Also, they're learning, and the process is just having fun, pretty much.
Yeah. Would you say in the future are you looking into? Because right now your theme is more like Mexican driven, correct? Or not?
Yeah. I when I start, the first pop up I ever did was barbecue.
Okay.
I did a collab with Smoking Ray's Backyard Barbecue, and we did barbecue, and we had a bunch of people come down.
Where was that at?
I actually did that one out of my house.
Okay.
Yeah, and I did that one out of my house in East LA.
Okay. So shout out to Smoking Ray's, right?
Yeah.
What up?
So yeah, we did a collab, and man, everybody came down. Everybody.
So what did they? So they were Smoking Ray's. How did you guys collaborate?
We both cooked together, and we both sold plates of food.
Okay, got it.
So we did like ribs, pulled pork, and he does these bacon mac and cheese. So and we smoke them a little bit. So yeah, we just did different sides and different foods and serving a plate of food. So. And I've collabed with him recently also, but I do my own thing. So I do the mariscos, because it's kind of like what everybody likes. That I've been doing is the mariscos.
Where was this last event?
The last two we did were in Ontario.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And why Ontario?
One we did at his house.
Oh, dope. He's in Ontario.
Yeah, he just recently moved to Ontario. And then there was another guy that we did it at his house also, which was a few miles away in Ontario also.
Okay.
But yeah, mainly I was kind of doing them at my house. I've done, like I said, I've done the barbecue pop-ups. So
these pop-ups look like, like y'all are setting up cooking and then people are just coming through, or is this like we're having a pop-up come through, we're selling some.
Yeah, everything we do is social media. So I'll do, an underground pop-up, and underground meaning we're not licensed to do anything.
Yeah,
right?
Just popping up.
We're in the backyard. Yeah, we're
backyard
popping
boogie,
up.
y'all.
Exactly. So I'll start, and I'll post like a week or two in advance, and pretty much depending on what I'm gonna cook, I'll announce it. So I've done like carnitas pop up where I have a big copper pot and I'm out there making carnitas, chicharrones, cueritos, buche, and you know all the
That's
good stuff,
sick,
right?
man.
With you know tortillas and all that. So
That's crazy. Sorry. And then how do you anticipate the number of people and how is that like you know what I mean? It's like back in the day when you like throw a house party and you're like, I don't even know how many people are actually coming to this thing and then it blows up.
and
you know?
that's what I love about pop ups. You know, when you cater, which it's
controlled.
It's one person telling you, I need you to feed a party of 50, right? So you give them a price, you know exactly how much food to buy.
Yeah.
And you go and you sell them the food that you made,
totally.
right? To feed exactly 50
That number of people.
And, you know, maybe a little extra, right? So you get paid for that. You don't lose nothing. So a pop-up, it's a whole lot different because you can cook anticipating 80 people and only 30 people show up.
Yes.
So you lost out, you know. Power of social media. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but you know, you advertise and you advertise, and you know, I know I did one time I did a pop up, and I think I sold. I must have had about 100 people, a little over 100 people show up, and I must have sold out. I think like in about 2.5 hours.
Wow.
And I had people like, I drove from here to try your food. And I was like,
my gosh.
But then there's times where I cook and I don't sell out.
Yeah.
You gotta kind of.
It's like a balance.
Yeah.
Well, and then people just have to know to come early. Like that's kind of on them too.
Yeah,
like,
and so you throw it out there, and people will DM you like, "Hey, what's the address?" You know.
Yeah, or like, how far are you in?
Yeah.
Should I even?
So you gotta kind of.
And then you're trying to cook, and then you're trying to answer these DMs, and oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, I'm doing this all in advance, right? You know, from the time I start advertising. So then I'm like, okay, I got, you know. You're pretty much trying to see how many people are gonna show up. Once I start cooking, I don't answer the DMs.
Yeah, I was gonna say like.
Yeah, once I'm done, when I'm done, I'll like look at my phone and have like 25 DMs. Like, I'm sorry, I couldn't respond. You had your time to
hit me up.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, it's a lot of fun. You know, I've done a mariscos. Mariscos is the main thing I do as far as the pop-up. Yeah. Like,
why do you feel that that's the direction right now?
I don't know. To me, I love mariscos and I love micheladas, so I do mariscos and micheladas.
Oh, yeah, your micheladas have been looking.
Thank you. Yeah, and I mean, who doesn't like mariscos? You know, you have your tostadas and you got your michelada and you got all the the fancy stuff, the loaded micheladas with the all the stuff. You got beer and you got food. I mean,
you're good to go.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
Especially here in California.
Yeah.
For sure, we're so lucky.
Oh yeah. We always got that warm weather.
Yeah. So in terms of when you get your stuff, like, where do you usually go to get like your quality food? Like, you must have some favorite spots now.
Yeah, no. I do a lot of like the produce, either like the downtown, the food produce market.
Okay.
Downtown. But then I go to vendors for my seafood, so I'll go to special vendors.
Have they reached out to you and that's how that works now? Or do you
I had one reach out to me, and I went through him, but then they closed down.
Okay.
So I just...
It's just good to know because people that are watching this that actually are following you.
Yeah, no, and there's...
want to hear like where you're going so that they can pick up the quality stuff. Like I used to go down to Central Market just to go pick up like... I used to do a lot of like Korean barbecue, like the ribs and stuff, and they used to cut them really, good. And
and there's a couple of different vendors that I follow, and I mean, going to the market, you're gonna pay a whole lot more, so you're better off going wholesale. And like I said, I usually do like 80 pounds of shrimp or
so you're doing big purchases.
I'm doing big purchases, and if you're not gonna buy
something major
40,
like that,
50, then yeah, just go to the market.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got to kind of do your research on that so you don't lose out.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And then for the mariscos, you were saying, so there's no reasoning as to why you're just going down the mariscos train?
Oh, man, I personally love mariscos myself, and I love the direction that right now Mariscos is going, it's a little different than what it's been before. Now you got like the Sinaloa style Mariscos that have been kind of hyping it up a little bit. You got all the different sauces, and you got the black sauce, and just all the different flavors that are coming out now. And I love it. I love it. It's hard to do, so a lot of people are not doing it.
Is that something that you're trying to like focus on yourself? Because you said you were working on sauces, or you want to start focusing on sauces and stuff.
I'm not trying to capitalize too much on it. I love it. I love it myself. I do want to get back into starting to do barbecue pop-ups. Just. Is
it like kind of more like American barbecue?
Yeah.
Like hickory smoke. Like what does that sound like? What does that look like? Because there's so many different kinds of barbecue regionally.
Well, I mean, you got like the Texas style, the Carolina, and
everything.
You got all the different styles. So California. Does
California have its own sort of?
I think no and yes.
Okay.
So I think we kind of just feed off of everybody.
Yeah.
And we get a little bit of what we like.
Pieces, yeah.
I don't know. Recently, I've been getting into a lot of like the Central Texas, and that's just my preference of what I like.
What Central Texas look like?
Central Texas is like brisket, seasoned with salt and pepper.
Okay.
Nothing fancy, no vinegar, no, they don't really mess with too much barbecue sauce. It's just salt, pepper.
Yeah, I'm not into like the big barbecue thick, like globby.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
It's just
it's
clean,
too wet.
Clean smoke flavor.
What about
salt,
southern?
pepper.
So what's southern Texas more like? I don't want to say Tex-Mex because it's not. It's barbecue. It's not really.
Yeah.
Is that different?
I guess personally I've never gone to Texas.
Yeah.
To know the, because they have like their different regions of what they do and how they do it. Some people do hot and fast. Some people do low and slow. Some people use, like I said, the different styles that they season and stuff like that. Just from what I've tried from out here, I prefer the Central Texas. Yeah. And that's, like I said, just salt, pepper, plain, to the point. You get the smoke flavor, salt, pepper. And I kind of want to start getting into that, which, I mean, I do. I just want to start selling. Okay. So eventually I'm going to start getting into that a little more.
From regionally, from where your parents are from and stuff, have you taken those influences and put them in anything you've done in the past?
Well, for one, the carnitas was something, like I said, that, my grandpa used to do, my uncles used to do. And so I have, a big copper pot, and, so I'll do the carnitas, I'll do the chicharrón and the buches and the cueritos and all that. So that's something I kind of...
The buche and everything, you know when they'll make the pits? Mm-hmm. Like, do you work with the dirt pits and all that too?
No, unfortunately where I live,
you can't do that.
Yeah, I can't do that. My yards are kind of small, but I do have like this huge Santa Maria pit. It's a grill, and the Santa Maria.
What's that look like?
The Santa Maria, it's like rectangular, and you can raise the grate.
Got it.
So you have your fire inside the box. And then you have a grate, so you put your food on the grate, and if it's getting too hot or it's burning, then you raise it. It's how you want your temperature. If you want it a little,
that's so cool.
Not too hot, then you go high.
Yeah.
And if you want to sear it, then you bring your food down. So there's this guy I'm working with. It's a Redbeard Smokers.
Okay.
So he
shout out to the homie Redbeard Smokers. I gotta check them out.
Yeah, they do some amazing work. And
he
fabricates all the...
Really? Is he local?
Yeah, he's out in Pasadena.
Oh my gosh, he's super local. I have to check him out. Is it low to the floor, or is it like a higher?
No, it's high up. So the grate would kind of reach me right here.
Okay.
And then you raise it.
That's so cool.
And to as high as you want. And it also has like a rotisserie attachment. So if you want to throw some chickens or something on there,
that's cool.
Turn on a little motor and let the rotisserie do the cooking for you.
Do you know what I love? I love lamb. Do you ever do lamb?
Yeah, I've done lamb. I do lamb. So.
Like, I love all the Mediterranean and the kebab.
Oh, I love
oh my gosh, when they do the vertical.
The yeah.
You know,
yeah,
the shawarma and all that.
Shawarma.
I don't even want, like, shawarma's all right. I just actually love the lamb but when you see it up on the rotisserie, when it's the vertical rotisserie done, dude.
Yeah.
That to me is like.
No, yeah. I love lamb. Lamb's good.
Yeah, and the whole, I think that's why I like Mediterranean and that sort of like all the kebab styles.
Yeah.
Because it's usually dry rub. Well, it's always dry rub. It's a dry rub that they put, you know? So it's very similar to kind of what you're talking about. It's like, it's just really good. It's just like, it goes straight to the point. It's not, we're not adding a little extra this or, I feel like sometimes the sauces distract from the actual meat. I feel like when you have it dry, you can really taste and understand. And not dry like the meat's dry, but like the outside is like crisp.
Yeah. I mean, you have it cooked correctly. So you get a nice outside and then the inside nice and juicy.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I guess so quickly I just want to say, like, the reason that I wanted you to come on to this podcast was because I really like your page. I like what you're doing. I think that I think there's like a humbleness about you that I really appreciated, that I sort of got off your page, even though like I had never even seen you or you know, like I haven't been watching your stories to even see any of the things that you're doing outside of just the Instagram page. But I guess I felt like you were one of those people who is organically doing this for the love of it, not because you're making money of it. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people, the majority of people that come on here are actually here to make money. They're doing it because they love it.
Yeah.
But they're also trying to be successful off of it, live off of it, and hopefully just like work through their dreams and make the money that they need to survive. But I think with you, it's different because I think that you're doing it because you just genuinely love what
I love
you're
it.
doing.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm saying is, what do you want people to take away from kind of what you're doing with it?
Just do what you love, regardless of what it is. Do what you love. If it's making you happy, do it.
When you were a youngster, because you know, I feel like when we were youngsters, it was like there weren't a lot of opportunities like they are now with this.
Oh yeah. I mean, you know, growing up, you know, parents didn't have money.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and they're working.
Yeah.
They're not even home.
Yeah.
So they're not even paying attention. They're not driving you to soccer or trying to figure out your after school situations. Like, we had to figure out our after school situations, and it was just kind of, we were left to figure it out, and then we made what we could out of it. So it wasn't like we were, I speak on behalf because I kind of feel like I can relate. It's like, we got into stuff because there was nothing else to do.
There was nothing else to do, yeah.
And so now that you're older and you're still figuring out something because you need to do something, I guess, how do you feel about how you want people to perceive what you're doing in the future, like in general with this?
Man,
it's a big deal. People are watching you, and you're inspiring a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, what I want people to take out of this is just do what you love. Everything I do for my family. You know, I do for my wife, for my son, for myself, for my sanity. You know, so if it makes you happy, do it. You know.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to end it on that because I think that's a beautiful thing you just said. And I thank you so much for coming to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
It was a blessing, and I want you guys to check out Ivan323 on Instagram. Do you have any other things that you want to are there any events, pop-ups, you want to promo your seasonings? Say it right now. This will come out in a few weeks.
No, nothing now, but if anybody wants to follow me, it's @_Ivan_323.
All right.
Send me a DM.
Yeah, DM him and get inspired by him because he's going to make you hungry. So for sure. So check him out, and thank you guys so much for tuning in to First Among Equals, and we will see you next week. Peace.